Hey, Instagram. No one is here. Hello, Stephen Peeler. Welcome to Real Life Cooking. I am just pinning what we're doing right now. How is everyone doing? Let me know how your Sunday is going. I have a very special guest today. One second, just pinning what I'm making on Real Life Cooking. Awesome. Post. All right, hold on. Pin comment. All right, guys. Hey, welcome to Real Life Cooking, the show where we make a meal from start to finish with no TV magic. And today we have a very special guest. Like I said, we actually have the owner and creator of Maroon Sausage Company joining us. I'm going to let him in my kitchen right now. And Facebook. If you want to watch on Instagram, he will actually be live on Instagram. Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hey.
Turn my camera upside down too. There we go. So I think we're all good now, right?
I'm good.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Let me turn you up so I can hear you. There we go. All right. Welcome, everyone. We have Howard Allen here joining us, creator of Maroon. Questions?
You're upside down.
Oh, we're upside down to everyone? Oh, I know it's upside down, but that's how we get to see him. I didn't know we were going to be upside down, like, to everyone.
Oh.
So you see he's upside down.
Oh.
Upside down?
Yes.
Everyone just turn your feet.
If he flips this one around, he'll be fine.
No, because he's...
No.
How's that?
No, then we can't see him. See?
Oh, well, the thing about it is you're upside down. You can't be upside down. People can't.
Oh, I mean, why don't you guys just turn your phones the right side away?
Yeah, y'all fuck.
Get on our level, people. That's how our Sunday's going.
Everyone's saying that's better now.
All right, I guess it's better this way. So they like it right side up, apparently.
Yeah, you can adjust.
All right. So anyway, welcome, very special welcome to Howard Allen here on Real Life Cooking. If you're just joining for the first time, Real Life Cooking is where I make a meal from start to finish, no TV magic. I try to make it really simple for you. And today we are highlighting a very special ingredient, maroon sausage. And I will let Howard take it from here. And please introduce yourself. Let us know how you're doing.
I'm doing good. I'm Howard Allen from Maroon Sausage in Brooklyn. And, I've been trying to grow this little idea that I developed back in, 7 years ago, to get it actually out of Brooklyn to the rest of New York City and hopefully to the rest of the country. We do jerk chicken sausage, right? So it's a Caribbean-inspired sausage company. No pork, very fun. We do outdoor events when possible.
Yeah, you were at Smorgasbord, right?
We were at Smorg, but I've spoken to two chefs already, and both of them were like, Howard, man, let's go out next week and find a corner and just start cooking. So next week, probably Friday and Saturday, you might look around. I might be in Harlem.
Oh, awesome. Well, let me know, because I will tell you. So Howard reached out to me and he was like, do you want to try some of these? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? And I was pleasantly surprised how, one, they're like super easy, but how flavorful they are. Like, you really don't have to do much to them at all. If you're someone that wants just like convenient eating, like this is a very, very good go-to kind of item. But of course, we're not just going to make grilled sausages on Real Life Cooking. We are going to make actually a rendition of dirty rice. And the history of dirty rice is actually, it's actually just chicken innards and rice, basically. So we're making us more closer to a jambalaya because we're using higher class ingredients, or higher, whatever, I don't want to say class, but higher, more expensive ingredients. And we're going to be the star of the show. Of course, it's going to be the maroon sausage. We are using, I intended on using for myself in the recipe I called for the pineapple version. Is that the one you're using?
I am.
Yeah. So I really designed this recipe surrounding those pineapple flavors, which is why you might see some unusual ingredients in dirty rice. But I ate all my pineapple sausage, so I have mild chicken jerk sausage, which you know, I think that the flavors will still go along. You know, it's real life. This is what happens. I was hungry. I needed lunch, so. You know.
That says a lot for the sausage, though. You ate it all. That's saying everything.
For sure. I ate, yeah. They were, like I said, they're super easy go-to food. And right now during quarantine, we have to cook so much and clean so much. It's so much easier to just have something easy to eat, and you don't have to think about it too much. But anyway, before we get into a question.
No, you're fine.
Oh, also, you guys, if you have any comments, questions for me or for Howard, please relay those messages. My fiance Chris is on the ones and twos, typing up the questions, giving back feedback. So please interact with us throughout this whole experience. You guys make it a lot more entertaining for us, so we're not just talking to a screen.
That's right.
And ourselves. But before we dive into Howard's story a little bit more, we're going to go ahead and start cooking so we have something to eat at the end of this. Also, if you ever want to cook along with me, I send out these ingredients in a newsletter, and they're posted on my website. So there's always the option to get a free cooking class and cook along with me every Sunday. But for now, we are going to get started. We're going to bring over our onion, which we have here, and we are going to dice this onion. Have you already prepped any of your ingredients, Howard, or are you along for the ride?
I have not. I've tried to not eat all the pineapple, though.
I cut mine into small little pieces.
I got some. I have pineapple chunks, but I've been nibbling, so we gotta hurry to cook this.
All right. Also, we have a pot of water boiling or starting to boil because we're gonna blanch our collard greens in there. I need to turn mine on, actually. All right. So we're gonna dice up this onion. If you have watched Real Life Cooking before, you know I have a very specific way of cutting onion. I only cut it this way if I'm mincing it. So what we're gonna do is cut off this. It has this rooted bottom, this papery top. We're gonna cut off this papery top. We are going to put it down on that flat surface and then cut it in half. And my onion is like pretty gigantic, so I'm only gonna use half of it. I don't think I'm gonna use the whole thing. So I'll save this for something else. And then I'm gonna peel off this layer of skin here. And we are going to mince our onion.
I'm with you.
You said what?
I'm with you. I'm there.
You're here? Okay. All right. So we're going to take our knife and slide it through our onion horizontally a few times. Not all the way through, just kind of almost there. So we have some layers that look like this. And then we're going to face it away from us and cut through it lengthwise. And we're going for like a medium dice here. It doesn't have to be so small. So we end up with something that looks like a blooming onion. If you were to open it, I wouldn't suggest doing this at your house because it just kind of falls apart. But for the demonstration purposes.
Okay.
Is this your typical way of cutting an onion?
Absolutely not.
And then, so once you have this like little floury situation, you're going to run your knife through it horizontally one more time, and you'll end up with what is a pretty uniform dice here. And it was very easy. I see you concentrating over there, Howard.
Man, I'm working on it. I'm still trying to get this mess together.
So again, I'm only using half of my onion because my onion was pretty big. Also, if you're joining me for the first time, I'm not a huge fan of following any kind of recipe. I feel like you should cook from your heart.
Okay.
And, because everything is always variable, right? Like, I didn't see the size of your onion, but if you have a smaller onion than mine, maybe you probably want to use all of it. Yeah.
It's about medium size.
Yeah, mine was like extra, extra large. So we have our onion. And we are going, look, I'm already messing up. Did I say that we're using garlic in this recipe? Do you have garlic out?
You did.
Okay, thought so. I knew I didn't bring it over here. All right, so we're going to bring over our garlic next. These are our aromatics that we're using for this recipe. And we are going to, you can mince it or slice it, whatever you prefer. If you mince it, it's going to have a lot more garlic flavor than if you slice it.
Really?
So we have a question.
What's an aromatic?
Aromatic is like the beginning of your dish. It brings a lot of aroma to the room. Or to the room. Yeah, actually it does to the room. But it also just kind of gives you that background layer flavor. So like things that are considered aromatics are like onions, garlic, leeks, ramps even. What else? Ginger, things of that nature.
We got two pieces of garlic, right? Two
Yep.
garlic cloves.
2 garlic cloves here. And if you have a garlic press, awesome. You can mince it like that. If you don't have a garlic press, you can always, you're going to make little planks of garlic. And I know it's like super hard to see from so far away. That's why you should take my knife skills class. So you can see it really extra up close. Shameless plug, Chefleen's Virtual Kitchen. But anyway, you're gonna cut it into slices like this. And then you could leave them as slices if you wanted, if you don't want like an aggressive garlic flavor. And then from those slices, you're gonna cut into little sticks. So you'll go from slices to sticks, something like this. And then from those little sticks, you're gonna cut into your small dice. How often do you cook for yourself, Howard?
You know, the way that this all started was that I cooked a lot. Now that my wife is home a lot more, I cook less, but I used to cook every day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I definitely, I'm a chef and I do not cook every day. It's actually when Chris and I moved in together, I would come home from working for clients, all these different clients, and he would be like, "What's for dinner?" I'm like, "What? I just cook for 8 hours. I don't want to cook anything else."
Yeah, I have a cousin named Chris who's also a chef, and there's never any food at his house.
Yeah,
So-
before I lived with Chris, I ate eggs and oatmeal pretty much every day. And takeout. I went out a lot. I like to be served since I'm always serving other people.
I lost my garlic. I don't know where my garlic went.
Oh no, your recipe's ruined. You can't.
Done.
It's never gonna be the same.
It's done. What happened to my garlic? I don't know.
All right, so if you're just joining us, we are making a version of dirty rice, but actually, like I said, a little bit more closer to jambalaya because we're using more expensive ingredients. And dirty rice is really just chicken innards and rice that's cooked together. So we're using a lot more fancy things. We're using vegetables, we're using pineapple, we're using maroon sausage. So ours is definitely a very far cry from dirty rice, but I'll tell you why the reason I still kind of called it dirty rice, because even in like more elevated versions of dirty rice, like they use ground beef, ground pork, and in sausage it's ground pork and ground beef and ground chicken. And in sausage, it's all made up from ground meat. So that's why I had the concept is still in my head.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the origin of this recipe? Like, where does dirty rice come from? Is this from Louisiana or something?
Yes, it is from Louisiana, Creole people. And it was really just a staple dish of very poor people in Louisiana, black or white.
Right.
Just because it's literally using the leftovers. And then it's a really versatile dish in the fact that you can add in when you had, like, maybe it was summer and you had extra greens. You could add in greens or you can add in whatever. So that is the origin.
Nice.
All right. So we have our onion, we have our garlic, we have our skillet. We're going to go ahead and start sauteing our onion and garlic in just a little bit of olive oil or butter or coconut oil. Actually, coconut oil might be really nice here if you have it. Just because it will kind of echo some of these like sort of tropical flavors we're building. I'm going to use olive oil because my coconut oil is very high and I do not want to stand on the step stool during real life cooking and fall over. All right, so I'm going to heat up my pan and add in my onions. Notice I'm using a bench scraper to transfer my items to the pan, not my knife, because that is how you dull your knife quicker. And it's a lot more surface area here. Look how much surface area is here and surface area here. A lot more efficient. All right, and then also when you put your onions in the pan, Howard, you want to season it with some salt. We want to build in layers of flavor and not just season all the way at the end, because that's how you just make salty food. Question?
What type of salt did you just use? Because you use a whole lot of salt.
Oh, so I'm using kosher salt over here in my house. What kind of salt are you using over there?
Me?
Yeah.
I can't even find the salt. I am not at my house. I am not at my house.
Are you not? You're not. That's not
I'm
your
not
house.
at my house.
Oh, whose house are you at?
A friend of mine. She let me use her place.
Oh, Chris said I'm asking you too many questions. My bad.
No, that's all right. That's all right. No, if I were at my house, I have a 5-year-old son. He'd be running around and it'd be crazy in there. So I couldn't do that. So I'm at a friend's house and she don't cook. She ain't got no butter.
So you're like, not only are you cooking live on Instagram in front of people, you are like kind of in a cutthroat kitchen because you don't know where anything is.
I don't know where everything is.
All right, well,
I'm gonna make the best of it. I'm gonna make the best
wine behind him. That makes life a little easier.
Oh, Chris said the wine behind you makes life a little easier. Tap up in the bottom. All right, so if you have salt, you would put salt in now. We have our garlic and our onions together. Now let's talk about the star of our show, which let me not bring this over first, which is our Maroon Sausage Company sausage. And this is the mild jerk chicken flavor. I suggested using the one that Howard has over there because that's how this whole dish originated, but I ate all mine. And there's a couple of ways we can add this to the dish. So you could, if you want to go with the ground meat idea, is what you're going to do is take off the casing and kind of like break it up that way. This is a little bit of extra work that you really don't have to do because you can also just like dice it into quarters if you don't want to have the ground meat. But if you want it more authentic, like dirty rice, you would break it up and then like kind of just break it up and then put it in the rice later on. But I'm going to do the faster, easier, real life cooking way, which is we're just going to cut it in half lengthwise and then in half again. So we end up with pieces like this. This is reminding me, Chris and I just watched this, was it? Yeah, we were watching it. They made this like hot dog waffle with egg. It was the strangest thing. And they like first they cut all the hot dogs up like this using a paper clip. We were like, what?
Who was the guy commenting?
It was have you heard of O.M. Kalin? He's like on the Ellen show.
No.
And he comments on all these like funny food videos. He's like there's one about mac and cheese where they literally make mac and cheese with pasta water and Parmesan cheese. He's like, where's the Gouda? Where's the Munster? Where's the... Yeah, it's like,
really?
It's really funny. Anyway, we are cutting our sausages into 4 pieces, and then we're going to cut them into a medium dice.
With a knife, not a paper clip.
You said what?
With a knife, not a paper clip.
Yes, with a knife, not a paper clip, because that's unsanitary. And we're going to use 4 for this recipe. So I have one that's already kind of ground up. And while I'm cutting these, can you let us know why you developed this art? You said it was 7 years in the making.
Yes.
You thought about it 7 years ago.
Yeah. So there were a couple of things. I'm actually not a chef. I'm actually a graphic designer, creative director. And a friend of mine who is in the food business was trying to start a mobile food business, and he wanted me to help him with identity work, develop logos and stuff like that. So in order to do that, I had to get all in his business and ask him a lot of questions. And I asked him what he was going to cook. And he said quarter of a chicken. I was like, so you're going to cook a quarter of a chicken on the street and you're going to expect somebody to eat that? Right there, quarter of a chicken. He's like, yeah. I was like, nah, bro. You can't. Why don't we think about something a little bit more simple, a little bit more portable? So I said, why don't we do sausage? I'm from the Chicago area. There's a strong sausage game there. My wife is Jamaican. That's how we got to the whole jerk chicken sausage idea. But it really started from me just being around Lloyd, the guy who had the portable food idea, and actually starting to work with him to do like sausage grilling events. So I would just be like his assistant. I would be on the grill and help him do it, just as like research, so I could understand what was going on. But it turned out that Lloyd wanted to go ahead and scrap this idea and go into the cafe business with his wife. I was like, man, this is a really good idea. You should do it. So he didn't do it, and I picked it up. So I went and bought a stand mixer and the sausage attachment and started making sausage every Saturday for 4 months. So
were you guys eating all the sausage or like giving it away to people?
in the beginning, it's you come up with a method, right? And I started out just making sausage patties and just working on a seasoning piece. That's just a really quick way to see where you at with the seasoning.
Right.
But in terms of the actual sausage link making, that took some time. By the time April came around, I started in January. I was able to submit to get into Smorgasburg, and I got in. That's how I got in.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so I started out with this crazy idea, and worked it until I had a workable prototype, and people started to like it in the neighborhood, and they started to ask me if they could buy it. So I just went from there.
Awesome. We have some questions.
Someone asked, where can they get the sausage? And I'm assuming this is a black-owned business. Okay.
Howard, are you black? So someone is asking, where can you get the sausage? And yes, it is a black-owned business. Howard is the owner and creator of it.
100% owner, yeah. So right now we sell online, so you can go online and buy it as of tomorrow. It was challenging. We were just doing it here locally in some small stores, and selling it face to face, person to person. So we do home delivery here in New York City. But now, if you go online tomorrow, you'll be able to order, because I've had people calling me and asking me if I shipped. And as of tomorrow, we will.
Yeah. When I posted it in my newsletter, and actually when I posted it online a couple weeks ago when I first tried it, a few friends in LA were like, "Yeah, your mission is to get that to LA." So I'm like, "You gotta just wait 1 week, and I got you," because you had told me earlier this week that you're gonna start shipping out. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really
Supposedly it's really
awesome.
good at macaroni and cheese.
Oh, someone also said it's really good at mac and cheese. Have you ever
Yes,
tried
it
that?
is.
Oh,
It is.
awesome.
So have you had the mac and cheese and maroon sausage patties?
No, I haven't.
Haven't? Man, I gotta get you some of those.
All right, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready over here, hungry. Really quick before we keep talking about your story, I have added my cut up sausages into my onions and garlic, and they are sautéing. They're starting to smell amazing. And I'm just getting a little bit of color on everything. So the onions have some color, the sausage has some color, and now I'm going to echo this jerk flavor inside of the dish by adding in some jerk seasoning. Just any random. I don't know if you or your wife is Jamaican, has like a brand that she particularly loves. This is like leftover from a random event, so this is what I'm gonna use. This is what I have in my house.
I actually have some that I made, so I would have used my own.
Oh yeah, even better. Yeah, obviously it's probably the same seasoning as the sausage. Smart. And the reason that we're adding it in now, before we add any liquid, is because we're like helping it toast up some of those flavors. So it's really gonna bring out even more flavor than if we just added it to when the water is cooking. So we're gonna let this toast up for 30 seconds or so. Now, Howard, did you just give up on cooking over there? You're just watching me cook?
I'm being entertained right now. Oh, let's look at Joe.
Let him do his job. He's
All
over
right.
here selling his sausages. You do the cooking.
That's right. I'm doing what I do.
He does what he does.
All right,
He's
all
telling
right.
stories.
Just wondering how much instruction I needed to continue to give you. I'm just giving instruction to the people now.
I'm listening.
All right, so I toasted up my jerk seasoning with my sausages and onion, and now it is time to add our rice. I'm going to add about a cup of rice, which should equal about 2 cups cooked. Again, I don't measure. I measure with my heart, so that.
Wait, what kind of rice are you using?
This is Carolina enriched extra long grain rice. Fancy way of saying white rice.
Is that a black-owned business?
Is this a black one? Actually, I don't know. Is it?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't know. You know, I have been searching for black-owned food businesses, like to start featuring them more on Real Life Cooking.
Right.
And there's not so many. There's 1,000 like spice mixes, but it's like very difficult to find other things. So like your sausage is very unique in that sense.
That's what I've been told. I don't know if you go to the fancy food show but people were really keen on getting me into the show because they said that, you know, black folks don't have food businesses.
No, which is so crazy because we make the best food. It doesn't make any sense.
We've been cooking since we got here.
Exactly. All right, I'm going to add some water to this. We have a question.
Is this your pineapple recipe and will it be on our website?
Hold on, I can't hear. 1 second.
Oh, great time to ask me a question.
What was the question?
This pineapple recipe be on your website?
Oh, yeah, I can get. Well, there's someone is asking if the recipe will be on your website, and I can give it to you if you want to put it on the website. But it'll also be on mine as well. I'll put a little link in my bio once I write it down.
Sounds good.
All right, so if you're just joining us, we are making dirty rice with Maroon sausage. We have Howard Allen here, the creator and owner of the company. We have sauteed our onions and garlic. We put in some water, and then we toasted up our jerk seasoning, and then we added some water, and we're just going to kind of let that cook down. Also, in the recipe, I suggested chicken stock, which will just give you more flavor. I'm using water and bouillon, just because this is a lot easier for me to keep in my tiny kitchen than like boxes and boxes of chicken stock. So I'm going to add a little bit of bouillon to this water mixture, and then I'm going to stir it around. And basically, we're just kind of waiting for the rice to cook at this point. We do have a couple more things, but I'm so interested in hearing how. So you've been selling at Smorgasbord for how long?
I sold there for just like 2 seasons, and I realized that, selling outdoors was not the business. It's a great way to promote a product, but it's not the business. So, little by little, I started to put this in a position where you can put it in the store. So you have to find like a co-packer who is USDA certified. Try to find someone who's in the city if you can. And I was able to do that, but it took some time, So I went through the process of trying to get my own processing plant. I, spent a year or so doing that, but it was better for me to just focus on getting somebody who had all of the equipment, all of the experience, and I just give them the seasoning, and they can just produce whatever I need them to produce.
Wait, so you looked into owning your own plant, your own sausage making plant?
Yeah, there are a couple of guys who are ready to retire upstate. And
laugh at that black man's dream.
And just buy their business.
Yeah, I just feel like, that's really inspiring because as an idea person myself, I have like millions and millions of ideas. My follow through is not always the best with these things. Right. And so like for you to think like, oh, I want to own a sausage plant, that's like really cool, and that you actually followed through and researched that out. That's cool. You inspired me to do some more this week. Follow through on some more things.
I'm sure you have, chefs are creative people, so I'm sure you have millions of ideas as well.
Yeah, I have too many ideas. We have another question.
What type of sausages do you offer? Is there a particular drink that you would like to have with this dirty rice recipe?
Okay, so someone's asking what are the types of sausages that you offer, and then I'll answer the other question.
Right now, it's only jerk chicken. We do a spicy, a mild, and a pineapple. I have a recipe for a jerk jackfruit that we need to produce. So we'll have something for the vegan set, but that's it. And I also have a jerk bacon, a pork bacon.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
You manufacture that already, or it's coming?
We've made that, and we had to pull it back, but we'll bring it back out hopefully in the fall.
Okay.
But the bacon was real.
Yeah, that sounds really, really good. And actually, I know it's gonna have a lot of seasoning already, but I'm already envisioning like candy jerk bacon, like.
I would have people buying that bacon, multiple packs and putting it in their freezer. It was hard to keep in the store.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Don't forget about the drink.
Oh, and someone was asking what kind of drink would I pair with this menu. Do you have any thoughts on that, or with this dirty rice?
I don't. I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
I would say, Jamaican jerk rum punch is like
nice.
A very easy pairing to me because the sweetness like balances out the spiciness of the jerk. Actually, funny story and completely off topic about anything we're doing right now. But Chris and I do date nights every week, and this week I actually took us to Jamaica, and I made jerk chicken, and I like made a little beach in the living room and had like the ocean on the TV. I made Dun River Falls in the bathroom.
Nice. Nice.
And I made rum punch, which is what even sparked that whole conversation of me telling you that.
I see you. You do have lots of ideas.
Yeah.
Howard, have any Irish flavors?
Oh, someone's asking, do you have any Irish flavors?
No, man, I don't do Irish. We strictly roots on this one. I can get you some bangers if you want. I know where to get those things, but I don't make them. You know, there's so many people that make that already that, you know, I don't want to compete.
Yeah, no, for sure. You want to stick to your targeted market
Right.
and what you're good at, what you know.
Yeah, I know someone who makes some good Irish bangers that have beer in them. They're nice, but it's not what I do.
Nice. All right. So our rice is cooking. It's looking pretty dirty. Also, if you guys remember, we had a pot of water boiling earlier because not only are we're making fancy, I hesitate to say upscale dirty rice because not now, but like all this connotation that like, you know, traditional food is not upscale or not like up to par. I don't want to go there.
Right.
But it is a little slightly extra than your traditional.
Uptown dirty rice.
Yeah, uptown dirty rice for sure.
Dirty rice.
So we are going to be adding to this. We're going to be adding some pineapple and some collard greens. But for our collard greens, I want to make sure that they stay nice and bright and green. I also don't need so many. I'm only using about 3 leaves. I'm going to actually dip these in hot salted water, and then remove them, salt again, and then remove them and rinse them under cold water. So when I add them to my dirty rice, they're not going to just be like a bland, ugly color. They're going to still be really bright green, which is just really more for presentation purposes. And for someone that is die-hard, like needs their greens with like all kinds of meat, this might be a little unusual, like just to blanch greens and then put them in something. But trust me, all the flavor from the jerk sausage and the chicken stock will really help. They won't just taste like just greens, like random greens that you're eating. So let me take this out. I dropped one extra far. I'm going to rinse these off. So is your, you said you had a 5-year-old son. Is he interested in cooking at all?
He likes to help. Sometimes it's not so helpful to have him helping. I also have a daughter who will be 13. She's actually been working with me since she's about 5.
Oh.
So she probably could tell you everything that's in the sausage and probably how to approach making it at this point. You know, she would do some time in the booth at Smorg, and she would work at the register on other events. So she's actually really, really helpful. My little guy?
Not so much.
Not so much.
That's awesome.
He's a great salesman.
Yeah, just put them out there like, oh, here. All right, so our collard greens, I just blanched, and I'm removing this hard inner stem. It's just not that, it's edible, but it's just not that palatable. It's very chewy. And I'm going to just stack all my greens on top of each other, and then roll them, and then I will make a chiffonade. So I'm going to roll them up.
A what?
So it's like one little... A chiffonade, which means little ribbons.
Okay.
In French.
That looks like a big blunt.
This looks like a big blunt, apparently. Yeah, I mean, if you made one, that's exactly what you're going for. Because now from here, I'm going to very thinly slice it into my chiffonade. So I'm getting little ribbons that look like this. And you can see how bright green they are. Well, you can't really see how bright green because it's so small. But they're nice and bright and nice and fine. So again, you're not going to be eating like just this green, big piece of like collard. It's a very small but subtle flavor, and it adds nice color and vibrancy. Also, let me check my rice because it sounds like the water is boiling out of it. So my water has boiled out of my rice, but my rice is not done. I can tell because I can tell how it looks. It doesn't look done. So instead of freaking out, I'm just going to add in a little bit more water and let it keep cooking.
Cool
Question?
When you grill the sausage, how do you serve them? Do you put anything on it or on the side?
All right. So someone is asking, when you just simply grill your sausages, do you put, like, what condiments would you recommend with it?
So, you know, in order to do s'more, you know, the food has to have a really nice presentation. So I ended up making a pineapple mango chutney to go on the top. It worked out really well, adds a nice bright color, and it's really flavorful and balances out that heat that's in the sausage, because before it was actually really hot, like hotter than what you had. So, you know, we created that, and that's something that we also have to bottle.
Nice. Oh, so you can buy the chutney as well.
We will, yeah. You know, I found a guy in Florida that might be able to make it for me.
Awesome. That's cool.
Who is black.
Oh, another black-owned business. Have you heard of the company Trade Street Jams?
No.
So it's another black-owned business. They're vegan jams, and she makes really interesting flavors. So maybe I'm not thinking right off the top, but she makes really cool flavors that might actually pair really well with something like this too, because they're kind of sweet. Yeah, they're sweet and but they're not too sweet. They're like so beyond just jam. They're really good. So maybe check that out, or viewers check it out. When I actually ate them, I made some. I'm a sauce person. Like, I'm sorry, I love ketchup. I love mustard. So I didn't put ketchup on it, but I put mustard. I put Dijon mustard, and I put I also made. Well, that was the first time I ate it. I put mustard, and then another time I mixed. This is gonna sound really random. I mixed barbecue sauce and sour cream. Do not be disgusted. It was actually really good because it's like that creaminess to pair with the heat, and then like the sweetness of the barbecue. And then I also made some pickled watermelon rinds to go on it.
Okay.
So I think like the pickled things go really well with them, like that like acidic taste. So like pickled onions, anything pickled tastes good on it.
I did a mayo with sriracha, and that was nice, actually.
Yeah. I mean, literally, you can't go wrong. They're really, really good. Question.
Trade Street Jams and his company are both in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, Trade Street Jam is based in Brooklyn as well.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, the owner of that, she's actually about to have a baby soon. Very, very soon. Actually, like in the next couple weeks.
Congratulations to her.
All right. Back to cooking really quick. So I added more water to my rice because it was not all the way cooked. Dirty rice is not supposed to be soupy. It should be like pretty dry in general. So just watch that as you go. I'm not going to add in, and so once the rice gets to the consistency that I want, my fire turned off. It's never going to get the consistency I want there. I'm going to add in my collard greens, and not only my collard greens, but I also have some cut up pineapple, and I have some lime that I think will really finish it off as well. So yeah, but we're waiting for our rice to cook. Actually, let me taste it and see if my seasoning is correct. Question?
What's the best way to store the sausage?
What?
Refrigerated.
It's spicy. Refrigerated.
Can you freeze them? Can you?
No, you can freeze them because he gave me 3 packs and I froze 1 and I ate the other 2. But yeah, you can definitely freeze them. I noticed it wasn't like as long as things normally can be frozen for though. I think it was like, oh maybe not. Maybe I just made that up in my head.
You can freeze them, and they'll be good for several months. But generally people cook them right away because it's a new experience.
Yeah.
Question. What he was eating over there.
Oh, people want to know what you were eating. I think you're eating pineapple, right?
Pineapple.
Yeah, that's what he's cooking over there, you guys.
I'm cooking
he
pineapple.
signed up to cook on Real Life Cooking.
You cooking? I'm eating.
You are cooking.
I am cooking.
You're real life.
Awesome. So, you told us you're going to be shipping tomorrow all around the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your hope that this is going to be like your only focus in life, or do you think you'll continue to like have a day job?
You know, I left my day job a few years back.
Oh, look at that.
So yeah, this is it. I mean, I have other ideas for other food products, a totally different line of sausage products. So we'll do this and see how it goes, see how far we can take it. But, you know, there's a lot of interest in these flavors. I think people are interested in new ideas in the meat category. You know, there's enough apple sausage and cranberry sausage.
Yeah,
So people are interested in new flavors, and I'm
for sure.
doing crazy stuff with that.
Did his 9 to 5 or his former job help him with his current situation?
Did your past job help you in building Maroon sausage?
You know, that's a funny question. I mean, in order to do what I was doing, you know, I was also teaching at Pratt, and I was doing more on the weekends. So I basically had 3 jobs, and I had a baby on the way. I had to juggle and hustle, and I had a boss that would allow me to do it. You know, my actual responsibilities. You know, I managed the department of the graphic designers. Maybe it helped me. I don't know. But definitely having a boss who understood my ambitions and my capacity was really helpful.
That's nice. Oh, more questions.
2 things. If they wanted to serve this at brunch, what do you think you would serve it with?
Well, so someone's asking if you want to serve it at brunch, what would you serve it with? My suggestion is just simply grill it and serve it with some eggs, or put it on like a sandwich, like a breakfast sandwich. Do you have any other thoughts to that?
I have people who are doing brunches, so they have it with like French toast. It's nice to have something sweet.
Yeah, sweet and spicy.
Yeah, so to put with that, so instead of chicken and waffles, it could be jerk chicken sausage and waffles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to get in some restaurants up here in Harlem. Not that restaurants are doing that amazingly.
I'm working on it. Also, we put it in quiche.
Oh yeah, it would be a good addition in quiche,
Yeah.
Or like even frittata or something like that.
Right. So quiche, dice it up and put it in tacos. So it's really flexible.
Yeah, it is. Question?
When will the jerk bacon be ready, and when will the jerk chicken and cranberry be ready?
Well, he said the jerk bacon should be in the fall, right?
I'm hoping so.
And the chicken and cranberry, no,
That's not
happening.
not what I do.
I have a question as someone that is currently building a business. It's a little bit different because it's not a product. But have you found any like really valuable resources as you were building up this company, or
For small business people?
Yeah, for small business people.
There are lots of resources out there in the city and the state. The challenge is for people in food to find the right fit. So you like someone like yourself, you know, people are going to try to get you to, you know, be registered as a women-owned, minority-owned business so you can get government contracts. Well, that only makes sense if you are planning on doing catering.
Yeah.
If you're not doing catering, it doesn't make any sense. And, you know, you still have people trying to push you in those directions. There are lots of organizations in the city, and I could put together some stuff and send it to you that can help you with like business plans, funding, and stuff like that, mentorship. But you know, it's you got to find the right fit for your particular business.
Yeah, I feel like it's like when you're building a business, there are like so many resources. It's almost like overwhelming because it is about finding the right fit, and it's also about knowing exactly where you want to be or where you're trying to go, which is something I've been challenged with in terms of like forming Chefleen and Chefleen's Virtual Kitchen. Like, what exactly space do I want to occupy? Also, I'm thinking about like, you know, expanding because right now I am the product.
Right.
Whereas like if I had a product I could sell, I don't say it would be easier, but it would be a little bit easier because Chefleen Virtual Kitchen is not happening without Chefleen. Like I'm always working. So
I don't think you're going to be able to separate those two things. You are the brand. Mm-hmm. When you develop a product, people are still going to want to see you. And I'm trying to be better at that. I think if you were to develop like a sauce or some dry rubs or something like that, people still want to see you. So you just need to get used to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind being seen. I'm just trying to, you know, sometimes take a seat in the back.
I mean, it's nice to have those things making money for you while you are also doing your live stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, I think our rice, well, my rice, because you're not
your rice.
Might be done. Let me check it.
I think he may be the first person to be on real life cooking that never cooked.
Yeah, you are the first person on real life. Well, technically, well, actually, I guess you don't really cook your sausages, but you kind of made the sausages, so you did something here.
I made a contribution.
All right, my rice is it's not done because Chris will be like,
You got crunchy rice.
Yeah, no, that's not.
That's actually one of our discussions about my rice cookery because he was very disappointed the first time I ever made rice. There's only like 2 things. Well, no, I don't know. Maybe like on one hand, how many things I've made that he like absolutely hates. The first time I ever cooked for him, I made him eggs, and it was the day after my best friend's wedding. So disclaimer. And I was in a kitchen that I didn't know, so you know that struggle right now.
Yes.
And I made eggs, and they weren't great at all, and he like actually doubted that I was a chef. He was like, "Wait, this is how you make your living? These eggs are not great." That is one particular instance, and rice because I do some butter.
Why don't you just buy a rice cooker?
Do you see the size of my kitchen? It looks a lot more spacious on the screen. There is no more space for any kind of kitchen gadget. I'm actually trying to figure out how to reorganize because it's a lot.
Someone said you're building a brand, girl. Keep going. Some inspiration for you.
Thank you for those inspirational words.
That's right.
Someone sees both of y'all.
I'm actually gonna add in while my rice is finishing up cooking. I'm gonna add in some of this lime. I love the lime zest because it adds a nice floral note, and it's really gonna pair well with the spiciness of the rice. So I'm gonna just add in a bit of zest. You don't want to zest your lime to death. You want to just put just the very edge. You don't want to get that super white pith in there. I'm also gonna add in some lime juice.
The sauce sounds very delicious.
If you have not watched Real Life Cooking, I'm like cutting this lime like it's normal. So I always cut my limes in 3 different pieces. Instead of cutting it in half, I cut off one like almost half, and then I cut off the other almost half. My knife.
It's called a third.
Chris is saying it's called a third. Thanks for that technical term. So I end up with 3. Well, because it's like almost half, but they're not actually equal thirds. Like this piece is a lot bigger. Whatever. Anyway.
Is this something that you learned in chef school, or is this your own technique?
I don't actually know where I learned this. I definitely didn't learn it in culinary school. But anyway, so it's 3 pieces, and you can see already there's juice dripping off. It's so much more juicy than if you were to just cut it in half. And then you get literally so much juice out of these pieces. So that was one of the almost halves. And then with this middle piece, I'm going to cut it in half again. And then you can just twist this piece over whatever you're cooking. So I'm going to only add in about half of the juice of the lime. And then my rice should be done now. So I'm going to add in my other ingredients. I'm going to bring my rice over here actually so I don't have to keep turning. So I'm going to add in pineapple, which seems really weird. But like Howard said, sweet and spicy kind of really make a perfect marriage. So I'm going to add in, I cut my pineapple about the same size as my sausage. I actually don't think I need all of this. Because I don't want it to just be like overly pineapple-y. And then also our collard greens that I blanched and I chiffonaded. Chiffonaded, I don't know if that's a word, but chiffonades. And then I'm going to mix it together. Ooh, this looks really good. And of course, the star of the show, which seasoned basically our whole dish, is our jerk sausage from Maroon Sausage Company. I'm going to rinse off my hands since I have pineapple on them. And let's go ahead and plate this.
I'm messed up.
So this would be a dish that gets better with time as well. Like the more the flavors get to sit together, the better it will become. I don't need all of that. Let's just make it kind of pretty. All right. So let me bring this closer so you guys can see. So you can see what you're missing out on over there, Howard.
I'm struggling right now. It looks really good.
This is our dirty rice made with our Maroon jerk sausage, which tomorrow, if you live anywhere besides New York, you can buy it tomorrow. This is actually like perfect timing for this.
It is.
Get this out. Also, you said you're doing a pop-up on the street this week, right?
That's the hustle. I think that we'll do one in Brooklyn and see if we can do one in Harlem if weather permits. But I don't know the streets of Harlem, so I got to find the right corner.
I'll help you out. I'm excited to eat this.
So if we weren't talking, how long would it have taken to prepare this?
Maybe like 15 minutes.
Quick.
Maybe 20. It's really, it's super quick. You can cut everything, or you could even just cut while you're sauteing things. Really, what you're waiting for is the rice to cook.
Mm-hmm.
But once the rice is in, you saw I'm not really doing much else. I'm just waiting for the rice to cook. While your rice is cooking, you can cut your pineapple. You can do your greens.
Right.
And feel free to play around the recipe. The only thing you can't touch is the jerk sausage. You have to have that in the recipe. But everything else you can play around with if you want to put mango or if you want to try a different, like kale or something like that. Question.
How can you keep up with Howard's events?
How can people keep up with your events and your happenings, Howard?
Follow me on Instagram. And also, there should be a section that will also tell you where we will be on the website.
So Instagram, website.
Yeah, definitely.
Your Instagram is at Maroon Sausage, Maroon Sausage.
Yes.
And your website is
maroonsausage.com.
Maroonsausage.com. Very, very simple.
Simple.
Okay, there's a word I don't know how to pronounce. A leftover pineapple put on some
guajillo chili.
Okay.
Someone's saying with their leftover pineapple, put guajillo chili on it.
Powder. Chili powder.
And chili powder on
Nice.
it. Chili powder.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I really like fruit with chili powder and salt and lime. Chris is not such a huge fan, but I dig that a lot. I'm really excited to eat this. Howard, do you have anything else you would like to say? Anything?
Please.
No.
Just follow me on Instagram when you want to know when we're going to be out doing events. And if you want sausage, please go online and make an order.
Yes, please support. It is a Black-owned business.
Very black. Very black.
Who didn't see? We have one more question.
Chef, how can they keep up with you and your events also?
Yeah, great question. You can follow me here on Instagram. I make most of my announcements on Instagram. I also have a newsletter you can sign up for on chefleen.com, which gives you even more information and probably faster than Instagram. And my website is chefleen.com. And I also have virtual cooking classes, which are really, really fun. And you can book them privately or take a public class. And I have a free class coming up this week. Ice cream cone cupcakes, and the donations from the class is completely free, but if you would like to donate, I'm donating to colorofchange.org to support all these things happening. Don't want to go there with my Sunday. I'm keeping on a positive note.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, thank you so much, Howard. Thank you guys for watching. Please support Buy Some Sausage. They're really good. I'm not just saying that. I do not support. I'm a horrible liar. I couldn't lie if it was that.
Can you try another piece for people can see?
Let me try.
Because if you do a little dance, I mean, the food is good, right?
It is good. The pineapple and the sausage, it's like perfection. And I can't wait for the bacon to come in the fall. I'm excited. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Howard, for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. See you later.
Bye-bye.
I'm over here winning.